let's go ahead and introduce our first player here on the top right. We have our red Terran player playing for Shopify Rebellion. Make some noise for BYUN.
Alrighty, and spawning in the bottom left in the blue, the Protoss from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Give it up, it is Hero.
Alright, so TVP here on the map of Beckett Industries. You would imagine that if there was a game to start off with for BYUN, it would be on Beckett Industries. Let's see if he can kind of pick up the win there. If he doesn't, then that's probably a bad sign. Bad sign for BYUN, because again, I feel like Beckett Industries are a bit more favorable towards towards Terran players.
Yeah, I definitely think it has those availabilities to, siege up and stuff like that. I definitely fear for, disruptors against BYUN. Now, I don't know how Hero's disruptor play is, or if he even will choose to go into that. Again, against the previous Terran, he did choose to go into Stargate a lot, so on a map like Beckett Industries, I don't mind that too much, but yeah, I definitely think it's going to be an interesting choice here, regardless.
New Ling SC2 in the live chat saying, don't get me wrong, I do think Hero is really good, but I don't think he's just quite there yet again. And I could understand, I mean, any player that is returning from military, you would kind of give them a little bit of a pass, right? I mean, I think a lot of people gave BYUN a little bit of a pass when he came back from the military, saying, you need to get your feet wet back again. But surprisingly, actually, BYUN did actually perform really well, won some tournaments, won the Aces ROG, then I believe he won Chisadelphia as well. So he quickly came back and won some decent, significant tournaments. Not quite there yet in terms of IEM, DreamHack, that kind of level, team TSL, of course. But still, considering he's went off of StarCraft 2 for 1 year professionally, and then to come back all of a sudden, that's impressive. And then also, speaking of Hero, how insane it is that he went off to military and he just came back, and he's already top 10 on the Korean ladder. I mean, if someone can let me know the secret, please feel free to pass it along, because I wanna get top 10 in Korea. Alright, back into this game here. Looks like we have a proxy going on. What do you think this is for? I think we lost StarsFallDim, I think. I guess we'll continue on. Let's see if he can he'll come join back into the call here. But in the meantime, we do see a bunch of Glaive devs. This is kind of reminiscent of the Hero game. Oh, actually, sorry. Back of the previous series between Hero and here. Of course, in that game, it did work out for Hero.
Yeah, he was able to defend it pretty well, but now BYUN in a little bit of trouble, losing quite a few Marines there. This time Hero, though, not going for the extra gateway close to the base, instead just vying for that pylon back just a little bit. But you know what? With the Glaive finishing up here, is able to get a little bit more aggressive, but instead choosing to go into the Stalkers to deal with the Banshees. So a little bit better play there coming out from BYUN now. Oh no! The Adepts going into the main base. We'll be able to pick off a few more SEVs until eventually it gets cleaned up there.
Alright. Looks like 4 SEVs for, let's see, how many Adepts was that? 6?
6.
Okay, yeah, that... I don't feel that was worth it.
Yeah, altogether he got 8 SCVs. He's got the Hellion and the Marines, so ends up favoring a little bit for Hero, but again, trying to keep the pressure across the map, allowing him to get into a third base and to just kind of keep BYUN at home. BYUN is definitely one of those players that if you allow him to start doing carriers, if you allow him to start doing drops and doing like multi-prong harassments, can get out of hand for the Protoss. So keeping him at home and keeping him in a defensive position is going to be big here for Hero.
All right, for Stalker, of course, they do one-shot SCVs. So, but it looks like in the meantime he's going to focus on those Marines instead. And oh, Templar Archive. That's a quick Templar Archive here. A bunch of gateways as well. So, gonna see some Storm, Archon, Charge kind of composition. In the meantime, though, 2 Banshees getting a bunch of probes at the natural, and I believe in the main as well. That's gonna be something that BYUN's gonna be very happy with.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's going to force more mineral production out for the Protoss. They have to make and essentially rebuild that probe count. Finally, we'll be able to take care of the Banshees, get them cleaned up, and has replenished his worker count here. But BYUN finding some damage is going to be super crucial. He's able to see, okay, Hero's taken a third. I don't think he's actually scouted the... Did he scout any of the, like... No, he hasn't. Okay, so he hasn't scouted that there's a Templar Archives, but you can kind of guess that if it's going to be Hero playing, he's going to go into that pretty quickly here.
Yeah, you kind of usually tell what army composition just by the general core. He does see a lot of gateway units, so his kind of assumption is that it's probably going to be more of a gateway into Storm Tech.
Yeah. Not sure about this drop. Well, Hero gonna drop in some more Zealots. The Archon ends up falling, and the Zealots getting on top of some of the SCVs. Able to kill off quite a few at the same time, going into the natural, picking off the tanks, and finding even more damage down in the natural. And not a bad push coming out from Hero. He's gonna be able to pick up with the War Prism, get out of there, and looking pretty good.
Yeah, these players are just trading blows for blow. I mean, 15, probes going down across the map. Well, no problem. Just go across the map and get 12 SCVs. I mean, it's so easy. I mean, if we can all just play like these guys, we'd be so well off. Maybe we can win some GSL ourselves. So
yeah.
So whenever you say when someone asks you like, how do I improve, you just say, just play like BYUN, play like Hero.
Yeah. I think that's like a really good thing too, like especially if you're trying to get better, is just looking at how some of the pros interact with different situations and try those out for yourself and find yourself in a better position. I think learning from others is a really good way of actually improving your StarCraft play.
Yeah, for sure. And looks like Storm is about to be done, and oh my god.
Oh. Big pickup there for BYUN, able to get that War Prism. Had some High Templar in it, looking to do some storms, it looked like. So finally able to clean that up, and now Hero just has to walk across the map. Doesn't have the pylon there either, so eventually we'll have to make another War Prism and try to do some more attacks. But we talked about earlier how disruptors are really good on this map. Well, Storm's pretty good on this map as well because of how tight each little area is. We see BYUN having to essentially keep his army tight knit together. Storms are going to be deadly here. There's not a lot of open range to spread out your army on this map.
Yeah, this is really, really crucial for him to get some nice spread there. And okay, nice dodge there. Nice dodge. Not too bad. Not too shabby. There's actually no reinforcement point here for Hero. And oh man, he is going to lose his entire army. That was absolutely awkward of an engagement. I mean, usually you see the War Prism nearby to get some additional warpins, but yeah, that was a little bit of a blunder by Hero. And BYUN, I wouldn't be surprised if he just walked across the map and just outright try to win the game right now.
I definitely think he has the ability to. He's got a good tank count. He's got the Marines and stuff trying to shut down this War Prism. Storms do come down and eliminate a good chunk of those Marines. Still gets out with one, or no, he gets out with both of the High Templar. Excuse me, I thought one of them was a Zealot still. behind this, taking a 4th base, and we see BYUN now looking to move across the map. Kills off the observer, and now looking to push in. Sees that there's not a 4th base down at the bottom. Sees there's one up at the top, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if BYUN just goes straight across and looks for a killing blow.
Now Hero is still trying to get this War Prism High Templar played out, and oh, that works out beautifully for Hero. That storm just landed in the center of that huge infantry unit.
Yeah, it did so much damage. Now those medevacs having to use a lot of the energy to try to heal this up, which makes this push coming out from BYUN a lot more not strong. And we're going to see if he can continue this up. Now, he's only got a couple more High Templar. He's making them into Archons. And we're going to see in this push if he can do anything. The lockdown onto the Raven, or excuse me, onto the War Prism, not going to allow him to do much here. And unfortunately, blinking back with a bunch of tanks. Hero starting to lose pretty quickly. Does get a storm off finally, but is it too late here?
Oh, it's a close one. I mean, the army supply is still very, very close, and there's not a lot of High Templars left over, but still, the reinforcements will be able to allow Hero to hold on, and he will pick up the first game of this series.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. BYUN was on 2 bases basically that whole time. And still, even though he was on 2 bases, it was constantly being attacked, constantly losing, SEVs and stuff. And so he basically did not necessarily an all-in, but he threw all of his army into that 4th base. He knew he had to shut that down, but knowing that it got completely, in essence, got shut down because of the tech, because of the storms, because of the stalkers from Hero, that even if he were to back up, try to rebuild, it would have been that uphill battle. So I think maybe in essence it could be considered like an earlier GG, but do you want to try to play it out and hope you get a win, or is it just like, let me just restart on another map, let me get a fresh start and kind of play it in my game and see if I can switch it into my favor? So
yeah, it was I mean, it's kind of a hard call sometimes, but I think that was the right call. I mean, Hero, I feel like was kind of convincingly in the head of the game, but let's see if this does turn out differently in game number 2. This, of course, will be on Romanticide, which is a much different map compared to Beckett Industries. This is a bit more wide open. This is also a little bit larger as well, so maybe that kind of does favor BYUN, as he does like those multi-prong attacks. So
yeah, looks like he's going to open up into a few Hellions here, go for another like Hellion style drop. Seems to be something he favors in the TVP styling, which on a map like this isn't bad. Again, you said, having that bigger, main can be kind of a hindrance. Be able to drop in there, not be seen, and then eventually just try to go in. But Hero's one of those Protosses that likes to kind of clump his buildings up and shut down any access into his mineral lines. And we've seen that kind of work against players like Cure when they've tried to go into this. So will BYUN be able to get the damage done here, or will he just kind of waste resources?
Well, he's going to go ahead and wait for the medevac before commencing, but Blink is going to be ways off. And so he can't really jump on the medevac, but there is a shield battery, so maybe that can kind of somewhat help. Although 3 Hellions is all you really need to one-shot a probe, so maybe that won't be the most helpful. But at the very least, he does get scout of this, and BYUN is going to go ahead and try to...
Ooh, this is so good. So BYUN's going into the... well, he went into the armory, right? So now he has a couple of Widow Mines, trying to get into the main at the same time he's attacking into the... Or trying to get into the natural same time he's attacking in the main. He does get 10 probes, and eventually sets his Widow Mines down. Now, they can't get in anymore because there is a Stalker, but a nice little idea coming out from BYUN, trying to distract all the Stalkers into the main, just for him to sneak in and get some probe damage done with the Widow Mines. So really nice try there, but again, he gets those 11, 12 now. Slowly just trying to move forward here.
Oh boy, man! Imagine if he scans right when the observer pops out and he just like kills it, and then he's got to deal with the dirt.
I mean,
and
he
the
is kind of surrounding it. He's kind of surrounding it.
Oh my god! I wish I could read the Korean right now.
It shuts it down. Now he has to wait once again. I love that he types it like right before it comes out to try to like mess up Hero so he can get the scan, but does eventually get the observer. Second one going to be out in just a second. There is still that one Widow Mine available. Ends up getting picked up, but some funny shenanigans coming out here from both players.
For sure. I would imagine BYUN was like, hey, might want to dig a hole for your observer because it's about to go down.
Yeah. So we got third base coming out now for Hero, or he's setting himself up for a third base. While BYUN is going to be going more still into a two-base situation. He's got Banshees. He's going into tanks and looking to continue into this damage. Now, I don't know how I feel about this. Hero going to have a good idea of what's going on. BYUN, if the observer comes out, I'll kill that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Inu, for the translation. Of course, Inu is our Korean streamer. And always great to have him, as he is our unofficial and official kind of a Korean translator. But yeah, that's funny.
Alrighty, so now we see the Warp Prism trying to come in for Hero. I don't know if he's necessarily going to warp in. I think it's just kind of a keep BYUN on his toes. But where does BYUN go from here? I mean, he does have the Banshee out, getting 5 probe kills with just nothing to scoff at since the second one across the map as well, looking to get some more damage. And Hero going into double forge upgrades here. Very interesting.
Oh, BYUN second Banshee just actually bypassed the observer there at the front, but I'm not sure if Hero was paying attention. I think he was just like too focused on something else, as he did not move his observer. Will allow the Banshees to take 2 more probes here out of action. And again, there's still that Banshee at the backside, which is going to be so annoying, which means Hero is going to have to leave some stalkers here back at home, unless he can kind of pick it off. Oh, doesn't quite.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely getting close each time, trying to pull the stalkers back to essentially trick the Banshee into coming and just going to its doom, essentially. But behind this, we do have that Templar Archives coming down once again. Hero putting in a bunch more gateways to get ready for another attack, and we'll start seeing him go into that Zealot heavy style where he's got charge and then getting into the storms, even taking a 4th base behind this, while BYUN is just now taking his 3rd. So already getting some interesting results here.
By the way, thank you, Some Drunk Canadian, with the raid party of 105. Hope you had a great stream over there, and welcome everyone from Some Drunk Canadian's stream. Welcome. And also thank you, sorry if I mispronounced your name. We'll just call you Car for now. Thank you, Car, for the subscription as well. Appreciate it, my man.
Car, are you crying?
Sorry, I apologize. I'm not the greatest with names, so I mean, hard names like I chose Snoopy because Snoopy is a really easy name to pronounce. So, I mean, that's part of it, of course.
Yeah. Awesome. So we do actually have Storm on the way now for Hero behind all of this. We've got the beautiful concussive shells coming out for BYUN. Does look like Hero's ready to start doing some of these storm drops, which seems to really be in his favor. You know, we do see, or we tend to see, a lot of Protosses going into disruptors, but Hero just loves that old school High Templar storm fields, and it really has been working out for him. So, ooh, is he gonna come in from behind? Ooh.
Oh my god, that would be sick.
Yes. Well, there's pretty heavy zealots for Hero. He does have those stalkers. Waiting for Storm to finish, which is about 5 seconds away now. He won't be able to get into the natural unfortunately. But maybe we see him return. Oh, no, he's going to just go straight up.
Oh, but a nice anti-armor missile. Wait, where's the... Oh, damn, he's going head back into his dirt base with that warp prism. I would have loved to see him just storm the mineral line and then come back. But oh my goodness, that was a beautiful storm there, injuring so much of these front lines. And now he's going to get on top of it.
Once again, the Zealots trying to get on top of the army, blinking forward to pick off the tanks. BYUN gonna have to pick up and start moving back home now. The one single High Templar left alone will eventually fall, and we're gonna start seeing ghosts come out for BYUN. Now that makes it a little bit tougher here for Hero. BYUN's got pretty good ghost control, so we'll see how this kind of plays out. Another stim does go out for BYUN, which makes the damage a little bit more. Widowmine shot going off onto the Zealot. And now Hero gonna put himself in the offensive position and see what kind of damage he can get done. Ooh, beautiful EMPs though. Oh, what are you doing, Hero?
Going up a ramp, not the greatest when you, especially when you don't have storm. There's only one storm left. Now he's gonna have to back out for the time being. But Hero, man, we're in that classic scenario where one player is so far ahead in the army supply, but the other person is way ahead in the economy, because Hero, he has 5 bases compared to the 3 bases of BYUN. He's trying to take his 4th, but the good news is that the workers are pretty even. So even though Hero does have 5 bases, he's still mining off of the same, pretty much the same amount of workers. And then if you combine the meals and you factor the meals in, then it does favor BYUN. So Hero's gonna have to once again land some nice storms to even up the supply here, and it's gonna be hard because there's ghosts out in the field.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's gonna have to get a little bit tricky when he does this, favoring to kind of go into the Archons a little bit more. Now, finally, Hero switching into Disruptors, so I'm excited to see where that kind of progresses. Gets 12 SCV kills, going to warp in a bunch of Zealots into the main base. So already Archons getting damage done, as well as, I think he has actually from storm damage, transforming into the Archon. Zealots looking to get some more kills on the production, forcing pickups, at the same time attacking down towards that 4th base location, and BYUN in just a little bit of trouble here. I mean, he's lost 26 SCVs altogether to the 10 as an attack of Widowmines going off in all of the bases. And yeah, I mean, I guess Hero's gonna back up for now, but getting that SCV kill, 31 in total, just a really nice pickup. Oh god, did he get another attack? Oh my goodness, in the main, another like 6 kills there. Crazy.
Jesus, so much action back and forth, but man, that was huge for Hero. Not only did he harass the main and the dirt, but taking out that 4th base, setting BYUN back once again. I mean, he's just taking full advantage of this very mobile army with the war prism, and now he's adding in those disruptors, which really BYUN doesn't have an answer for those disruptors.
No, he really doesn't. I mean, he has the ghosts, but he's really trying to get the EMPs, which he does beautifully onto the High Templar. Now, the Disruptor's going to give a little bit of space here for Hero as he starts pushing on more and more, actually forcing the Archons to be made for Hero. He is making a couple Colossus behind this and getting shield upgrades, still warping in more Zealots in the main base at the same time, and just keeping the production at a minimum. Going into the natural now with some more, and BYUN starting to fall apart here. He's trying to stem back, trying to kind of micro this the best that he can. But with Hero getting into the 3rd base, GG's called, and Hero gonna take the series, or take the game, make it 2-0. Alrighty, so Hero is up 2-0. I'm curious, does Hero go for the cheeky play and try to close it out with a 3-0, or does he play standard? So far, gonna be throwing down that gateway, getting his gas, and I imagine gonna go for an expansion. Now, this is the same map that we saw him earlier going into that Void Ray play. Does he do that again here? against BYUN.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, this is a great map for it, right? You could plant the shield batteries there at the, I guess, the north side of the barracks, and then just kind of fly back and forth. And it worked out once before, so it could work out once again.
Definitely. Well, we got the Cyberdyne's core coming down. Expansion being taken this time from Heroes, so doesn't look like he's going to go into that proxy style once again, but BYUN taking his expansion, getting his factory, and just scouting around for any kind of proxies, but none to be found.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have ourselves a pretty standard game. And, you know, when your back's against the wall, I mean, there are two kind of mindset. Is either one, you can go and say, I am going to just play it straight up, go with my most comfortable solid build, and play from there and see if I can kind of pick up the win and go from there. Or do I YOLO it? Do I just take a huge risk? Do I go for a crazy cheese? Do I go for it all in? And sometimes, you know, it's really interesting to see how players kind of decide which mode they want to go into. And it looks like both players, at least BYUN in this case, since his back is against the wall, he's going to take the more safe approach.
Yeah, BYUN definitely likes his Widowmine drops. He's got some pretty good Widowmine control altogether. Very interesting hero opening up with that Sentry once again. This time going to hallucinate a Phoenix instead of that Oracle. And we'll look to at least kind of get a scout in the main, see where everything is going. And we'll see from here, you know, maybe what he wants to do.
Yeah, we do have a nice hallucinated Sphinx here. We'll be able to scout what's up. He knows that is a 1-1-1 build. So he can kind of feel safe and breathe a sigh of relief that it's not going to be like a 3 racks like stim timing push or some sort. So he can kind of get that that third base at a relatively standard time. I would say around the 4-minute mark.
Definitely. Well, it does look like Hero is going to get aggressive. He's got multiple gateways throwing down a Twilight Council and a robotics facility behind this. Now he's got the proxy pylon to be able to warp in more units like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him actually go into glaives again in this map.
Yeah, it's looking very much like it, as that is queued up in the production. In the meantime, though, it's going to be a Widowmine drop here. At the same time, the Adepts are shading into the natural. Nothing here to defend. And let's see here, how much... Oh man, I try to keep up with everything that's happening here.
Yeah, naked. Widowmine drops going into the main. Doesn't get much damage. Well, he does get 4. Same time, we do have those Adepts going into the main. Gets cleaned up into the natural, and you know what? Hero Marine. Oh my goodness, Hero Marine. Hero is going to be able to clean up at least 6 SCVs and some Marines himself. And you know what? A nice little trade on both sides. Looks like BYUN, though, going to come back into the main base as those Widowmines come off their cooldowns, and gets another 3 probes. So nice little back and forth between them both. Losing 6 Adepts and 8 probes, though, not very good there for Hero, but pretty close to basically what BYUN lost. So in the end, ends up being a little bit of the same, but we see more gateways coming down now for Hero, and he is not done with this push yet.
Yeah, looks like he is gonna put on the hurt here. I feel like this is pretty committed. I mean, there is no third base to follow up. It's about to approach 6 minutes. There are more gates here. You might want to wait for the gateways to finish before attacking, but oh wow, nice positioning there by these tanks.
Yeah, and even the Adepts trying to get into the natural, unfortunately it gets completely blocked off and just going to get shut down. Now the Sentry is in the main with these Adepts, so going to give Guardian Shield to try to help with it. At the same time, the Raven getting a lot of damage done across the map in Hero's base. And I mean, Hero just cannot keep taking damage like this. Yeah, he's warping in some more Adepts, looking to get on top of the tanks, but now the tanks are separated out, and these tanks are in range to actually take care of these adepts. Oh man, 11 SCVs killed. On the other side, BYUN was able to get, I think it was like 10 altogether on the probes. Nice little force field to try to deal with this, and that War Prism trying to micro this around as much as possible. Tank's going to get re-sieged, but I don't even think he's going to need it, as it's going to get forced and picked up. And now the Raven coming back in for some more. He's hungry for some probes, but this time Hero paying attention will eventually kind of push that back. So just a crazy back and forth here between these two.
Yeah, and all in all, I do like and favor BYUN's position because that attack of Hero was meant to kill his opponent, and instead it really only killed SCVs. And when you're going for a build or an attack that's meant to outright kill your opponent, and you only kill SCVs, that's not a good thing. You want to just kill the main army of your opponent rather than just pure SCVs. And we can see it kind of reflected in the supply. Even though the worker count is even, the army supply is heavily in favor of... Ooh. How much life is that? 2 health. By the skin of his teeth.
The pilot of that War Prism's just kind of like clenching his butt together, like, oh god. Thought he was about to go down with the ship, but fortunately he was able to survive. Gonna automatically start going across, and like you said, you know, the numbers are kind of reflecting where BYUN has so much of a force. He's gonna throw down another turret. Doesn't get really any other additional kills, but at least is kind of keeping those stalkers busy. But now BYUN's Raven just stuck in the back. And like you said, I mean, Hero's been trying to get aggressive to shut this down, but BYUN is just on another level this game. He's really doing a good job. We're going to see that War Prism try to come in, but with the missile turret there, you got to wonder if it's going to survive.
Alright.
Ooh, gets the War Prism. Or the medevac, excuse me. Eventually does get cleaned up in the natural, but not after 9 more probes get taken down. This third base going to go down as well, as Hero just does not have a big enough army. GG's. And BYUN finally going to get on the board here. Alrighty, guys, as he said in the top right, in the red, playing for Shopify Rebellion. Give it up for the Terran. It is BYUN.
And here, at the bottom left, is the blue Protoss looking to close out the series. Can he do it? Yes, Hero. Now already I am just looking at the building placement of Hero, and normally I would like the Protoss to start off with the wall off on the kind of the edge where the Reaper jumps in, but instead he is going to go ahead and just start her right into his main base. Now, because the prevalence of Reapers and Hellion run-bys, you do see either they wall off at the natural, like do a complete wall off at the natural, or they completely wall off the Reaper jump point area, right? And without that, I would like and love to see BYUN just go for either a Hellion drop or maybe a Hellion run-by. And maybe opened up with a Reaper. Unfortunately, okay, there we go. Finally, I think because in the previous couple of games he opened up with Marines first, right?
Yeah.
So this Reaper will not only force Hero to not make sentry opening, but he will have to force Hero to place his units at the correct area to deny the Reaper.
And looky here, this time Hero going for that's Stargate opening. Now, he was keeping BYUN pretty occupied in his main or natural. Eventually does get the probe with the Reaper. It looks like he's going to go potentially across the map here. Now, he's not going to scout out the Stargate, but we're also going to have a Zealot going into the natural. So, does BYUN instantly come back to deal with this? Or is he just going to try to put on some pressure of his own to the probes? And this is going to be a pretty big deal. BYUN's going into Marauders. That is not what you want against a Stargate Void Ray play. And oh my goodness, he's going to go into Shield Battery. So, oh my goodness.
I think this is just a build order loss. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of anti-air for the Void Rays.
Yeah, he's going to have a couple of Marines. He's making, or a Marine, but at the same time, putting on the pressure with the Adepts, trying to shut down any income from BYUN. Oh man, this is going to be bad. Oh, but the Reaper finally scouts it, but is it too late?
Yeah, I think
the Void Ray
so.
coming in. GG's, and Hero takes the game.